Hello, everybody. It's August 1, 2026. I cannot believe it's August 1, 2026. It's 10 p.m. And I will wait for the notifications to go out and then play my theme song here. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. This is the baking soda water shot that took me from 198 to 156 pounds in just 2 weeks. 30 years in Hi, Nick. Welcome. I know, gang stalkers. Welcome. Hi, Land Shark. Welcome, welcome. I just posted such a cute little video my neighbors left. Hi, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for the jewels. Thank you, thank you. Oh, do you see the loser club? The local loser club dropped another grenade on the county road just a few minutes ago. About 20 minutes ago. Welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you guys come in. How's everybody doing this evening? I think the world has just gone mad. It just seems like the fires and across the country, the floods, it's huge land grab. Hi, Mario. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing this evening? It's just been like very humid and rainy and drizzly and yucky. I know. Isn't that horrible? Hi, very soon. Welcome. Hi, City of Fullerton. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in, guys. Yeah, I was listening to the professor. Oh, I'm forgetting his name right now. The predictive history guy, Dr. Young. Well, he had sort of like an emergency. He had an emergency class this morning talking about Spain, and that basically Spain is not going along to get along. They want to sort of like do their own thing, and it appears to be some kind of retaliation against them. 25 years. Oh my goodness, you are a survivor. Does it change after 25 years? I mean, how many times have you moved in 25 years? Hi, Cab Scout. Welcome. That is a long time. And, you know, the more we reflect on our lives, we may have been surveilled at the very minimum much longer than we realize. see, yeah, so I don't know if you had the opportunity to see my latest little upload just about 20 minutes ago. It's a short. Neighbor stalker harassment. That my neighbor stalker harassment team throws flash grenade from the county road. Hi, Lorna. Welcome. That's terrible. I mean, when I hear things like that, it's so disturbing to hear that somebody grows up in a home where the mother is not good to them. That really disturbs me. Hi, Felix. Welcome. You know, when you're growing up, it's supposed to be the place that you feel the safest. But you know, I have spoken to people that have grown up in homes where the parents were less than welcoming. Let's put it that way. They were just unpredictable, nasty, even violent sometimes. Hi, Reed. Welcome. And you know, so much of the way we are today is the first 7 years of our lives. You know, who our parents were. You know, and of course, some people are of the belief that a lot of your personality qualities and traits, even trauma, is absorbed in utero while the child is developing. You know, the baby in the last trimester can hear what's going on, is moving, is taking in the fuel, the food from the mommy. Let's see, RCMP stalking every day lately. Today, a ghost truck pulled 6 inches from my rear bumper and then hit his light sirens. They nearly took the paint off my car. I have an alarm going off here. Let's see. Why is that going off now? Yes, they should go to prison. Just like the eBay stalkers. And to think that couple, the eBay couple, was only being harassed for 6 months. I mean, 6 months is a cakewalk. Nick's waiting for lawn scrapers compilation video. I've been compiling in separate folders the landscapers that I've had here and the photos associated with the landscapers. So yeah, so at some point, I was just busy today, because I haven't had a landscaper. I did some of the weeding myself today, and one of my weeders is on a battery, so I ran out of battery. I had to recharge it again, and then the string came out of the weed eater, and I was like, I don't feel like doing this. I just don't feel like threading this thing right now. Oh, they traumatized your pregnancy. Oh, that's horrible. That is so sad because that trauma can definitely affect the developing embryo. Yes, well, yes. Hi, Van Life. Welcome. You have to go through hell to get into heaven. Yes, the radio frequencies and the remote neural monitoring. Like, it's none of their business what we're thinking and doing. But these communities, these perverted, greedy, jealous communities, they sign up for this stuff. Their mouth is watering when a new targeted person comes in the community. Hi, LJ, welcome. Yes, they stay home 24 hours a day. Imagine how boring that is. The last thing I want to do in this lifetime is watch somebody else 24/7. I have too many things I want to do for my own self. And if these guys did focus more on themselves, they wouldn't have to. Wouldn't have to earn their income off of the coattails of some stranger that they don't even know. You've had problems with landscapers. Yes, it's the perfect cover for spies. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right because they're everywhere. And this last landscaper, he did the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. In my outer field, he decided to drive around the entire property almost like he was scoping it out. Yeah, that's what they do. They move them in. Hi, Mac. Welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in. I mean, at this point, the thing is to gather your evidence because a lot of what happens to us is not naturally occurring and there are patterns. Hi, Powers Bova. Welcome, welcome. You caught delivery people snooping and they ran from you. I mean, it is just so insidious what is happening in this country, and actually, it's around the world. I say this country only because this is where I live, but it's happening everywhere. There was somebody who left a comment on a video yesterday, the day before, that they're from France. So this is happening everywhere, or a lot of everywhere, a lot of places. So one of the questions is, oh, you're in Canada. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Canada, I hear, is pretty bad also. Is your dad targeted? And was it passed down to you? Yes, Federal Express and UPS drivers always perp when you walk your dog. France was very organized. Oh, you were there in May. Oh, okay. Hi, Joe. Welcome, welcome. France was very organized just there. Late May. France is just like the United States on steroids. Oh, your dad is targeted. I believe they killed your mother, so I'm assuming this is generational. Well, I know in my family there are 4 of us that are targeted. Likely my father's wife also.
Germany had the Stasis before it all fell apart. But you know what? The one thing is that Germany actually kept records and published a lot of those records. Yes, they've got a cushy job, spying and getting paid for it. There, you don't need any qualifications. No qualifications needed. You just have to be a snoop and a jealous, pathetic loser. Those are the qualifications for spying on somebody else. Oh no, they'll say that, oh, we're confidential informants. It makes them feel better about being a rat snitch and a peeping Tom or a peeping Jane, whatever they are. Yeah, see, the Stasis was before all of this advanced technology existed. I mean, the technology is off the charts now, and of course, most of the technology they don't even want us to know exists. And somebody had asked me in the comment section, do I have the book MK Tech, Invasion and Mind Control? And I do. I have part 1 and part 2. Yes, the Satan Silent Assassination Through Awareness Network. Have I ever chased stalkers in my car in the past? I did in New Jersey. There was this one bitch. She was wearing, she was driving like a red car, like a sort of like a smaller SUV. And I'm like, this woman is stalking me. So I'm going to follow her. And she knew I was following her. She just drove all over the place. And then I realized that I didn't realize where exactly I was in Manalapan. So I ended up backing out and driving back home. But yeah, so it was obvious to me at that point that woman was following me. It was a blonde haired woman, short blonde hair. Yeah, so that's the only one. Yeah, they feel so cool and they think of themselves as James and Jane Bonds. I know you can't wait for my landscaper pig videos. I started downloading them today. I have to move them from my phone to my laptop, and I do have some already online. You know, I have videos online, but not the photos and stuff. But I want to get them all together so you can see how similar the damage is, the similarities, and ironically, it is the same time of the year every year. Like the last 3 years, it's all around July. So it's all around my birthday. It's all around when it's getting warmer and the grass is growing and we have rain. Hi, Fred. Welcome. Your entire family was targeted. Your dad, your sister, one of the most horrible examples. Your marriage was targeted. Your children are targeted to reject you. They do that. They do that. Somebody just said, hi, Bernadette. I'm not seeing that name. You know what? I probably have to go up and change my settings because I'm not seeing a Bernadette here. Let me see here. Okay, now I had to hit all. James Bond on on a wheelchair. Well, you're absolutely right. Stalkers do forfeit their right to live, and it is deplorable. Yes, I just did that. I just hit the live chat because I wasn't seeing everything. When somebody mentioned Bernadette, it's like, I didn't see a Bernadette here. Yes, they create trauma throughout the entire family because, you know, It's easier to manipulate and control somebody if they're constantly being traumatized, which is why these Satanists like to traumatize a child before the age of 7. And the reason before the age of 7 is that is a Saturn cycle. Let's see. Any TIs out there get recall notices for their vehicles? I've had dealers mess with my vehicles in the past. I haven't had like recalls, but there have been actually since New Jersey some kind of a part or whatever. And then when I go to get the part in New Jersey, they said, well, the part is on back order. I said, how could you send me a recall for a part and then have the part on back order? Yes, they try to break up your marriage. You know, when I think about it, when I think about some of my past relationships, post divorce, I think that there's quite a possibility that some of those relationships were manipulated. Yes, they sell their soul for material things. Oh, you lived in 5 countries before the age of 7. Were you born into a military family? Yeah, see, Landshark says the same thing. Were you born in a military family? Because generally, like a lot of military families move around a lot. I mean, that's traumatic for a child in and of itself. Having to make friends all over again, being in a new house all the time. They like to split up families, friendships, and marriages. Exactly. Exactly right. They do. I sure do wish they would have split up my marriage sooner. I didn't have to wait so long to divorce him. Some people say that my ex-husband was like a honey trap. Let's see, escape communism from Poland. Oh, you're Polish. Anyone else have 15 drones over your house at night? Well, I can't say they're 15, but I've definitely counted 8 or 9. I've seen 8 or 9 drones. Yes, you're absolutely right, Lorna. Money is not the root of all evil. Everybody needs money to buy things and necessities. Greed is the root of all evil. Yes, yes, I hear you. You know what? We sit around, in this live stream and in the videos and stuff and talk about this because it's, hi, Jenny. Jenny, yes. It's, somewhat cathartic. You have to get this stuff out somehow. You just can't keep it in. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I don't even know what it all means, the jewels and the floating hearts and everything. Thank you. I appreciate that. You went to Poland in early June. The stalking was bad there. Police, ambulances running their sirens around us in the hotel. Yes, I have those planes here too. The Cessna planes. Hi Joshua, welcome. Hi his girl, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up. Let's see, you have as many as 43, but at least 20 every night in the last 2. You know what it is? Like after I take care of the cats, I kind of crash out in my house and I don't go back out again until I have to kind of lock up the cats. A lot of times, like the last few nights, these criminals have been knocking me out. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining, Numbers Gal. Let's see, BMW sent me a letter claiming that they made a mistake, wouldn't tell me what they had done wrong, so they need to go back there immediately. Oh, well, they're not telling you why, though. Hi, C Truthy. Welcome. Exactly. You don't want to share too much with people. I mean, the only persons I could really share like what's happening with me is it's my brothers. That's it. But what I do talk about with some of my friends are vandalism. I mean, that's something that they understand and they know. One second, I think one of my outside cats came in here. I thought I just saw her walk by. One second. Are you in here, girl? Girlie. Oh, I know she's outside. So there are 3 baby raccoons on my porch. If your father is heavily involved, you're you're 46, tired, single, loving it. You're 43, never married, no kids, no pets, move every few years, no childhood family. Wow. Gary's having to stay with his family. Certain times when they ramp up the shenanigans into overdrive. Well, hi, Ocean Size, welcome. I'm not familiar with that book. My Life Changed Forever by Elizabeth Sullivan. You were wondering if anybody knew of her being on other platforms. Is the name is a pseudonym. Do you hear? Is that a creepy voice? Do you hear that voice? Hi, SDL, welcome. If you hear some kind of my laptop is making noise. Which it just started today, actually. And I don't know if it's because yesterday Zoomy decided he was going to like walk over the laptop a couple of times, and he's quite large. No, it's not your phone. It's definitely my laptop, and it's I'm hearing it for the first time today. Pesticides are sprayed frequently around here, but no lurkers or dog walkers are present when this happens. Hi, Valentina. Welcome, welcome. They always pump weird, creepy noises. Oh, absolutely. Oh, it's absolutely. And of course, just before the live stream, they set off another one of those flash grenades on the county road near my driveway. Let me see if I can find it. I'll just leave it in the chat for you guys. Neighbor stalk a harassment team. Throws flash grenade from the county road. You know, they're so starved for attention, you know, these losers. Do I ever turn it into the police? I know they're involved, but just to document it. I don't give anything to the police anymore. What I do with this stuff is I send this all of my videos to the ATF and Homeland Security. I gave up on sending anything to the sheriff anymore. And not that Homeland Security and the ATF aren't involved either, but they're the right people to actually look at this stuff. Right? Isn't Homeland Security about, you know, protecting the homeland? Well, I have grenades going off on my property by pathetic neighbors. So I do not give anything to the sheriff. Yeah, exactly. And the sheriff is related to them. So it's a huge conflict of interest. You remember to hit the thumbs up, everybody. Yes. Those are the people that I would send it to. Yes. It is a terrorism. Yes, it's terrorism campaign. Hi, Amy. Welcome. Good to see you. Hi, Mrs. Matson. Welcome. Welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up. Let's see. Seditious Alien Act. Yes, you need a presidential proclamation. You think the U.S. Marshals are the best? Well, fireworks are a little bit different than what they do here. Yeah. So no, I would not contact any law enforcement over this stuff. I document it, post it online, and then when I have a couple of them together, I send them to more federal agencies and stuff. And I think it's about time to start sending them to some senators and Congress people too. Let's see, almost filed a long report on the civil rights website, but figured that would only make it worse, so I didn't. Well, you never know. Yeah, they're supposed to protect the homeland, right? Yeah, the gas and chemical burns. I hope you have a lot of honey on hand. Yes, yes. I mean, there's just so much. I have so much on my plate. And not having somebody cutting my grass is a huge inconvenience. So I'm going to be buying my own new lawnmower. So in the long run, it ends up saving me money. Plus, I'll be able to cut the grass whenever I feel like it. I won't have to worry about somebody else's schedule or them screwing it up. Yeah. No, they don't have any life. They have no life at all. Their life is our lives. It's starting to rain again here. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the offer to cut the grass. I really do. I mean, it's so much. It's just so much. And I've got a lot of animals to take care of. And it wouldn't be so bad if it didn't rain so much. So we get so much rain, then the sun comes out, warms it up, and it's like, okay, the grass is just cut, but within 2 days, it looks like it needs to be cut again. Hi, Tuesday. Welcome, welcome. Oh, they absolutely gaslight truth tellers. Yes, exactly. Epsom salt in the ears, repair the blood brain. I've never tried that before. You sleep with the right side down, so the left gets fried. Oh, I've never thought to put Epsom salt in the ears. But one of you guys sent me an email a while back when they saw the sores on my leg and said to that they've been using myrrh and that some of it went away like very quickly. Let's see. Amy's using the FBI ID theft questionnaire to report identity theft. Are you reporting identity theft to any agency? I did report identity theft. Hi, Cordy Roy Vet. Welcome, welcome. Oh, your migraine went away from that. Oh, that's really interesting. Nick says, "Let's take our weed eaters to Lorraine's. We'll have a party, right?" The migrants' invasion in Spain made me notice how crazy everything is becoming. That's what I was listening to. And the predictive history, Professor Jiang, he was talking about it. You know, I'm clueless about history, so I really appreciate his podcasts, his lessons. Myrrh capsules. You make a poultice. Oh yeah, yeah. You don't even bother reporting stuff to the FBI. It's not even worth it. The best way to report identity theft is if um, there for a lot of insurance policies they have like a little identity theft add on to it, and sometimes the banks, like if you have a bank account, a checking account, sometimes they have something attached to the account. Castor oil, myrrh, and frankincense. Yeah, that's really good. That's good stuff. No, I've never gotten a response from the FBI either. I filed complaints in New Jersey, here in Kentucky, never get a response. The only person I consistently get a response from is Senator Rand Paul. Anytime I send him something, I receive a response. And I did actually receive a quick response back from Homeland Security and the Fusion Centers when I sent a FOIA request. I see her. I hear you. Yes, I hear you on that. just remember, they are the ones that created the terrorist screening database. So without that, and also, so that once your name gets on the list, it never gets off that list. And even when you pass away, your name still stays on the list. They tampered with the butter in your grocery deliver, gave you severe migraine they do tamper with food, let me tell you. Title 18987 is juicy. Title 18987. Well, you have no idea that when you FOIA request police departments, it wasn't always like this, but it's become very insidious where they won't even give you any information. It's either redacted or empty. Yes, they steal your name and label us terrorists. Yes. They're being very evasive with FOIA requests. Sometimes the best way to send a FOIA request is through the state. Usually the Attorney General's office will have a page where you can request information, and you can request FOIAs through the Attorney General often. The response you got when those files had been destroyed or moved, you got that kind of response? Wow. I would save that letter. Definitely save that letter. Yes, we have endless proof of corruption, but nothing is ever done. Well, the best we can hope for at this point is the exposure and having people in positions of authority believe us and report on it. I guess it was about a month or so ago, Candace Owens actually mentioned gang stalking. And there are a lot of other YouTube creators now that are speaking about it. They may not be calling it gang stalking. They're calling it harassment or stalking or trespassing. Yeah, I don't want to play their games. I don't have an interest in playing their games. I'm too busy to play games. They steal your documents or replace them with similar document sounding incompetent. Yes, they want to make you appear incompetent. Yes. See, FOIAs for federal public records requests are the verbiage for state info or believe it or not, if you want to formulate the wording properly, ask ChatGPT. Hi, Wilkie Knox. Brown shirt civilians. Yep. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, ChatGPT is very good at writing FOIA requests. It's like very simple. You hear sirens now that you're on the chat. I'm sure they know that you're on the chat. Who cares? The sirens coincide with specific things that you do. Yes, and they'll do that. Like, it's raining here again. It's raining fairly hard. Yeah, proxy stalking is another terminology, another way to describe it. They got so wrapped up in layers of files, no names, probably QR codes for security purposes. Well, I guarantee that when we file FOIA requests to see if we're on any kind of a list, whomever is searching for the folders is not going to find any folder with our name on it. It's raining hard in Tennessee too. Well, they've been spraying the skies here like crazy for 2 days. All morning, They were still spraying the skies at 9:30 last night. It might have even been later than 9:30, but it got so dark that I couldn't see anymore. Yeah, the FBI. I file complaints with the FBI, and they've got a very extensive complaint process form on their website. It's so tedious and time consuming. I think it's designed that way so that you don't complete it and submit it. Hi, Tale of Centuries. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in, guys. Yeah, it's raining like really hard here now. Let's see. Question: anyone else get harassed in video game lobbies? I hi. I don't play video games, so I can't answer that question. You're too old to play games. I don't know, like even when I was younger, I don't know, I thought playing those kinds of games, these video games and stuff, like what it's such a waste of time. It seems like an addiction. It could turn into an addiction. You counted 8 emergency vehicles in one day. Let's see, you did a FOIA with the Emergency Management Agency and they told you you had to know the specific employee where they would search their emails records, like I know their employee names. No, they keep that hidden. And even if you thought you knew their names, it might not actually be their name. They break in weekly. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, Tuesday. I appreciate your watching the videos. It's been a nightmare for sure. It's been a nightmare, and I really want to get out of this state. I cannot stand living here. And from what I understand is these stalkers, these losers, they want to do to you everything that you hate. And I will never come back to this state ever. Well, that's not something I would discuss here. Let's see. They steal your documents and alter them. Yet there's a lot of identity theft. A lot of identity theft. When I was moving, my passport was stolen. My checkbook was stolen as soon as I moved here. A checkbook register was stolen. My master's degree was stolen. Could you imagine? And it's raining really hard. Actually, like the weather report said it would rain, but it didn't say it was going to rain this hard. Oh, that's what it is. Yes, the color red stimulates your brain for fight or flight, and the sound frequency triggers you. Yes, we have had a heat wave a few weeks back. You know, it was in the 90s. The actual temperature has been somewhat moderate the last couple of weeks. It's been in the 80s, 70s, and 80s. But the rain, what happens is, after the rain, it gets so misty and humid and balmy. You have 3 doors. You did a survey of neighborhoods, 75% were brown shirts. Helping watch a target. Wow. That is incredible. I don't think so at this point. Owen Haskell, welcome. Thank you for the research. Yes, they do like to park their cars facing the door so you can come out with their headlights blinding you. Yes, they're creating triggers in this MK Ultra program with sirens and noise. It's satanic ritual abuse, and they use the noise triggering in little kids. In neuroscience, they explain the use of several colors. Red is the most effective for brain activity. Hi, so geometric. Welcome, welcome. I I'm not going to say, Nick, but I have changed my mind a couple of times, or I've considered other places, but I haven't done the research yet. I mean, you know what happens. I'm on the laptop doing research, and the next thing they know, it's like, oh, okay. So we have a question here. Who are the brown shirts? Hi, Eden's Living. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. Yes, so the brown shirts are like the Gestapo. Yes, it's in the East Berlin Nazi Germany of the helpers of the government, brown shirts. The helpers of the government. And they're like rat snitches. I guess they were called brown shirts. I guess they wore brown shirts back then. They were gang stalkers, the Stasi. Civilians doing government work for free to spy on neighbors. What a life. Could you imagine? What a life. Isn't that horrible? I didn't realize that you were a moderator for Emma. Wow, that's so cool. You could have called them brown noses. Actually, I think some people have called them brown noses. Well, with the identity theft, they will apply for loans or, try to impersonate you. It could be that there are people from other places that are coming here and need the identity of somebody else, whether it's to apply for, an apartment, to get an apartment, purchase a phone, for credit. They might do it for credit, so that they're not tracked. They're using somebody else's name, and they need some proof of that name. Oh, you never saw anyone use the phrase flying monkeys until after you used the phrase about the air stalking. Oh, okay. The Imagination podcast is a YouTube podcast, and a woman named Emma. She has, I don't watch a lot of her videos, every once in a while I do. She has like a lot of satanic ritual abuse survivors on her show there. Oh, I didn't realize that she has a lot of interviews with TIs. I know I saw one with a targeted person. I don't know. X is not really the place that I would share my targeting experience. Brown noses typically have an affinity for spewing BS, but it suits them since they're walking shit. Yes, I Maine is nice actually. It's quite nice there. The problem is it's cold as hell there. It's cold up there. The upper northeast is really beautiful, but the snow in the winters are so cold. It's so cold up there. His girl says, I'm 60 years old, retired elementary school teacher. Community threat. Oh, yes, of course. You're a threat to national security. 60-year-old, another 60-year-old woman. We're all threats to national security. Let's see. You recently heard that there's a town in Colorado that has been abandoned. Maybe all TI should go there and take it over. Hi, Elsie. Welcome. Fire and EMT are worse than the cops, Van Life says. You want to start, who wants to start a TI community with you? Well, I wanted to do that living here. I already have the acreage. But most of the people that contacted me were from California, and I'm thinking, how are you going to get here? And are you aware that the environment here is significantly different than California? Like right now, it's raining cats and dogs. It's torrential rain. And it's not the first time this week. I was going to contact Emma to do a like a targeting testimony, but I don't have a camera. And as soon as I said that, they just zapped me in the leg. I just got zapped in the leg after I said that I would do another targeting testimony. You're absolutely right, his girl. I need at least 2 more people here. There has to be somebody that stays awake all night long. And there has to be somebody that can stay on the property while, like, let's say I leave the property for whatever the reason is, even grocery shopping. I think that the more successful targeted people who prevent break-ins, etc., are living with somebody. Absolutely, yes. It's nearly impossible, especially when the property is this big. I'm in eastern Kentucky. This is eastern rural Kentucky. Dane Wigington says they're warming up Canada. Well, that's not going to be good because if they warm up Canada and all the ice up there melts, guess where it's going to come? Where it's going to flow? Yeah, I don't know how to do all of these technical things to protect myself here. I mean, literally, my life is overwhelming here. I mean, you watch my videos and stuff, but the bottom line is it's literally a nightmare. Have I heard anything from Roy? Does he? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. Well, I have land for sale. I have land for sale. But I've mentioned it before. And I guess it was the first year I was here, maybe even the second, about having a little community here. Most of the people that contacted me were in California. They didn't even have a method of getting here. And it becomes very problematic because there are targeted people that don't have a modes of transportation. And when it comes to living together on property, it's not just because somebody is a targeted person, because we know that there are some targeted people that, because of the program and everything, may or may not be as easy to live with or, share resources with. Let's put it that way. You really do have to screen people. And perps would definitely try to infiltrate. Absolutely. Oh, I know. I love that. I love the idea of having growing food and having a community, living together in peace, like even living off the grid, which is very difficult to do. But I would imagine if there's several people living together, that living off the grid would be much easier. Oh, is that right, SDL? Oh, that's so interesting. You're in your car, but we need more insurance. Let's see. Yes, yes, the green thumbs are good. Everybody should have a green thumb these days. There's a question. Do you know how you're being gang stalked? Well, oh, excuse me, I am definitely being remote neuromonitored. They know every little goddamn thing I do, when I'm going to do it. I walk to my front door and suddenly there are cars coming out of nowhere. Like a swarm of them. Hi, Kristen. Krista, welcome, welcome. Yes, it's been a long time. Oh, you're so welcome. Lloyd was on a TA conference call tonight and shared his interview with you. Oh, good. Oh, I'm so glad. He's got some story, boy. He's got well, we all have long stories, but he's got it very well documented. And, it stems from his father and his father's business. It's actually so sad to hear how financially ruined, like, one company can destroy somebody. Well, you'd be surprised. It may not take you long to sell your house, depending on the size and where you're located. Yeah, Lloyd has a very interesting story. Very, very interesting. You're, you're sure that I'm super easy to live with in the hippie compound. I don't know. I've never had people complain about either living with me or anything until I moved here. Literally until I moved here. You have nonstop clicking in your left ear, zap vibrated all day. Yeah, I think that has to do with remote neural monitoring. I do not. I believe that it's military private contractors' house of boogeyman. The question is, do you know who's using this remote monitoring? It has to be somebody on a little bit of a higher level than your local neighbors. It could be somebody locally that they have moved here, but some of the technology can be used from miles and miles away. Yes, they do. They do have new cars, and these are not like cheap little cars. No, I've never used any kind of OnlyFans. I don't even have. I hardly have enough time to post videos here. I don't have time for other social media platforms. I used to have a TikTok. Well, I still have a TikTok, but I haven't posted anything there in a while. Yes, it is a cult, Matson. Exactly, 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 Matson. Let's see. The shadow government is in bed with them. He gets stalked by city workers whose city has a partnership with Infraguard. They target people. They're obsessive and jealous of success and material and decent looks. Well, and they basically target that. They target your physical appearance. Like this past week, they've been targeting my face, my forehead, the sides of my cheeks. TikTok has compromised the gangstalkers groups together to flag down videos. Well, I've noticed that since January. TikTok has definitely changed since January. They changed. Well, I'm not going to say they changed hands, but there's somebody else involved in the group. Hello?
Hey, Lorraine, are you okay?
They knocked me out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they knocked me out. Thank you for calling. I just woke up like right before you. How long was it?
Just briefly,
Like 10 minutes?
5 to 7 minutes.
It's horrible. They do this to me all day long. It can't be healthy.
No, it can't because it's radiation.
It's radiation. Oh, they've done something to me this week. They embedded something in my face, and I've been trying to scrape it off. It's like there are just so many things I don't talk about, but I thank you so much for
You're still
calling.
on the live.
I see.
Okay.
I'm reading it. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. No worries.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Bye. So what is this? Bio-coded directed energy is another way putting our DNA codes into a computer through satellite running algorithms. Oh, well, it's not gas that they're using on me, at least not now, but they do spread gases on the property. They're using like directed energy, and they're hitting me in the head. Yeah, I had 3 raccoons, little baby raccoons on the porch, but it's raining now, so they disappeared. Yeah, they do. They've been very insidious and doing it more often lately. And what it is, it's a way of stealing my time. And also, what it does is like, let's say you're in the middle of doing something, and you move from one task to the next. And what they do is they know what you're going to do or say before you do it. So they will knock you out when they know, like, you're going to write a letter, if you're going to. They've done it, like, when I'm in the middle of going to create a video. They do it. They have knocked me out when I'm going to go into the cats building and take care of them and lock them up. It's very insidious, and they do with AI too. Exactly. The Wi-Fi router can be used to emit frequencies to induce sleep. That's very possible. I do have a Wi-Fi router right here, but I keep it covered. Like, I keep it covered, like, with one of those bubble, aluminum bubble thingies. Yeah, it's probably through the laptop also. Oh, you've been targeted since 2018. Oh, yeah, The Guinea Pig by Dr. John Hall. He talks about a lot of technology they use to have access. Well, my brother says that they do that to him. Like, they try to knock you out while you're driving the car. I can't say that I understand exactly how it's done, but I've been documenting it and documenting how long it's been happening. Joe says for approximately 7 minutes, I was knocked out. Yeah, they do it all day long, and I'll tell you. Let's see, I wrote it down. They did it today. They did it in the morning between 8:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. And then yesterday, 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. they did it. I mean, I don't write it down all the time, but it's pretty bad. Thursday from 10 to 10:40 p.m. So I've been programming my phone to, like, for alarms to go off at various times. I mean, obviously with the live stream, I don't have any of the alarms going off. At this time of the night, I usually have an alarm going off from 9 p.m. until like 1:30 a.m. every half an hour. But believe it or not, sometimes, I don't know what it is that they do, but there are some times when I don't even hear the alarm, which is very bizarre because I've always been like a light sleeper. So, like, any TIs in Connecticut or Massachusetts? There definitely are people in Massachusetts. Well, Romola D is in Massachusetts. The journalist, Romola, she's in Massachusetts. Another thing that they do when they knock you out is they will come into your house. They will implant you. They do nasty stuff. They steal things. And that's what they did to me earlier in the week. I got knocked out, and then I woke up and I had all these weird things on my face that weren't there before. These people are so evil. Oh, but that's very possible, van life. When you're tired, I think it's easier for them to do it. But I've noticed a pattern. Aside from being in the live chat and that happening, but the pattern is they tend to do it after I have eaten. Like if I cook a meal for myself, eat dinner, and then I come down here and, watching some videos, they'll knock me out. They have knocked me out and have stolen things off of my body. Bracelets. They steal it right off your body. It's so insidious. Yes, I think it has to do with the screen, the computer screen, the laptop screen. Now, normally I'm not sitting in front of the screen one this close for this length of time. Like I would normally be getting up or leaning back, but because I'm speaking in the live stream and I want to read what you guys are writing, they left a used dried pouch on your eye and you woke up to that. Romola does. She does. She doesn't post there often, but she has a website, the Everyday Concerned Citizen. Oh, thank you, Joe. They actually don't even have to drug you. If they have your frequencies, they can just hit that portion of your brain and knock you out. But they do gas and poison, and there are times when I smell it on the property. It smells like very perfumey. I don't wear perfume. I don't have any flowers growing that are perfumey. So it's definitely some neurotoxin aerosol that they're spraying. Yes, isn't that amazing, Elsie? Elsie says, I still have difficulty believing how dedicated they are to hurting people they don't know. Let's see, if the Masons are involved, they're definitely using sorcery and energy manipulation. Oh, Sir Judah, absolutely. Welcome, by the way. It's a beam, and you don't have to be near a computer. I noticed that for the most part, it's mostly after I've eaten or when I'm very, very tired, and it only happens when I'm sitting down or laying down. And I'll give you, for instance, this morning, I woke up to the alarm at 6:30 a.m. I decided I'm going to stay in bed a little while longer. Like I wanted to wake up before 8, to feed my animals and stuff. And there were 2 alarms that obviously went off that I did not hear. I did not hear them. So either they're turning them off or I'm literally knocked out to not hear them. Oh, wow. Let's see. You were at a nail salon and set your smart key next to me. A woman and her adult daughter came in and sat next to you. As I got up to wash my hands, they swiped my key. They paid cash. Anything you've heard of in witchcraft or voodoo can be done with quantum millimeter waves. I believe that. The technology is so advanced they're not going to tell the general public about it. Because a lot of the crime that we hear of, unsolved crimes and stuff, is a direct result of this technology being used in the public. Oh, wow, Matson, that's horrible. In 2014 with the alarms. Well, I mentioned so many times on the channel that back in New Jersey, my daughter had come home from the university and we went to the library and took out some videos and we're watching videos together and they knocked me out. And my daughter is trying to wake me up and she got scared because she knows that like I'm such a light sleeper. And like you could hear her saying, "Mom, mom, wake up, mom." Like, what, mom? And when I finally come to, I'm totally out of it. So she actually witnessed that, and that was like really the first time that I realized what was happening. That somebody else witnessed what was happening to me. That's a creepy voice in the background. Compliments of my stalkers. It's we've unfondly named it the creepy voice. It's on some of my cameras too. There are a couple of times I've given interviews, like one with David A, and you could hear the creepy voice in the background. I mean, not as often as like on the live stream. Oh yes, absolutely. They have given me a crease in between my eyes that's not natural to any kind of a facial expression that I make. Like I've always had like really, really good muscle tone because I've worked out my whole life. And they have zapped my muscle tone. Like it should not be. Like even in my birth chart, which I won't discuss, but uh, tells you that I have really good muscle tone. And they have like my arms and stuff. Like I've got the wiggly jigglies underneath. That's I never had until I moved to Kentucky. It's just so bad what they do. You have a red line across your face starting a few months ago. Yes, they do horrible things, just horrible things because like Kay Griggs says, like these military ops, they hate women. They hate women. They like to do crazy stuff, crazy kind of experiments. These are psychopaths. That's right. The sheriffs of they run the county-wide stalking program under the fusion centers. Yep, absolutely. And the thing is, in my family, all the women, including my own self before I moved here, look 10 to 15 years younger, like always. The energy weapons drain the fluid in your body, they steal the collagen in your body, the protein. And in addition to that, like the nanotechnology and the smart dust, like there's smart dust everywhere inside my house. It's like you can't get rid of it. Let's see, is it normal to see state troopers driving through the middle of a small city? Not usually. No, they're not allowed to steal, but they do anyway. Yeah, the sleep deprivation is very real, and it happens to a lot of targeted people. And I believe that even when you're sleeping, like when you think you're asleep, and when they knock you out and stuff, they're draining. They're not allowing you to get the kind of sleep that's restorative. Yeah, they do hate women. They're trained to hate women. Remember, when these men go into the military, and not just men, it's women too. When they go into the military, they're teenagers. Their brains have not fully developed yet, and they are being programmed by the military. And the microwave weapons, they drain your cerebral fluid. They dehydrate your body. No matter how much you drink water or fluids, it doesn't matter. They're depreciating like vitamins and minerals, but you don't even know what they are. Hi, Buck. Welcome. Welcome. We're actually nearing the end of the live stream. We've got 20 minutes left here. Exactly. The sleep doesn't restore. Like I've lied down just because, sometimes like working on this property is exhausting, especially in the heat, perspiring, picking up bitchcraft, witchcraft, branches. There's a lot of walking to be done on the property just under a regular day. And then there's all the animals to care for and stuff. So sometimes I just want to lie down in my bed for a few minutes and just relax and be horizontal, and they'll just knock me out and steal 2 hours of my time. Yes, you leak the fluid out of your nose. Oh, well, that's not good. Well, another thing that they do, and it's been, I'm gonna say, let's see, maybe 4 or 5 times in the last month, nosebleeds. Yes, I think so too, Land Shark. No, at age 35, you should not be this tired. Absolutely. But they do prevent us from entering the REM sleep. So that's why we wake up exhausted. And, oh, thank you for confirming you get the nosebleeds too. Yep. Hi, JJ. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Oh, be careful with the Adderall. Taking it long term can have very negative long term side effects. Exactly. REM sleep is where our body repairs itself, and they want to prevent us from healing and detoxing. And they do want to disfigure us badly. Yes, they do. They're like hitting me in the face like this last week. After revealing the names of the landscaper, somebody entered my house and put this like technology on my face. Oh, okay. Thank you, STL. Yes, they put lines in the forehead. They disfigure us. They want to change us. Let's see. If you demand with authority God gives us, they must follow rules God gives them. They use rules like legal freedom if they interpret them as a right given. Well, they bastardize rules and laws and turn them inside and out. Joe said that CERN shutting down, supposedly some Mandela effects are reversing. let's see, you said 0 black women with those at 60 years old. Yes, and they do put the bags under the eyes. Yes. Okay, I just removed the comment of a perp. Mud Baby S6N. Mud Baby is a perpetrator that entered the live chat that said that we're crazy and need to be hospitalized. Okay, so we deleted that message from Mud Baby. Thank you, SDL. Yeah, we just got rid of that troll. No trolls allowed here. Thank you for the email, Anna, and thank you, STL. I have 3 emails from you. Oh my goodness. I see. I see what they did. Ouch. Yes. It's unbelievable. They do like to target the ears. I see. Now, do you think, STL, did they insert anything into your ear? Yeah, the Georgia Guidestones were demolished. They wanted to get rid of the evidence. Well, you know what happens, I believe, with the families is that when families believe the bad things about us that are untrue, they're also being mind controlled. I mean, the technology does exist to change how your family views you. Joe has some good advice there. If your family, if anybody in your family is turning on you, stay away from them because it won't improve. Usually, they're a narcissist, and you need to get away from that negative energy. You felt the heat of the beam. Okay. So nobody entered your apartment. Nobody entered your home to do that to you. You actually felt the beam. Yes, the goal is mass mind control, and that's where we are now. That's why our family members have turned. Hi, Sue. Welcome. I think it should be okay. It's not very graphic. It's not too graphic. You could probably post it on your community page. let's see, you had a nurse cleaning your ears a few years back and find something and took it out. Not sure if there's still something in there now a few years later. Okay, so nobody entered. It was actually heat. So these energy devices can be used from a distance. Hi, Amy. Let's see. Oh, I know. It's very difficult to have these conversations with somebody who's not targeted. You almost can't, without alienating them from you, because nobody wants to hear bad stuff all the time. The shibble says, I'm thinking about getting a shirt made with a saying, gangstalkers are some subhuman trash. I wouldn't do that. You don't want to stoop to their low level. Energy weapons can be used up to 2.5 miles away from the target. Yes, I've heard that too. And that's quite a distance. You've pulled white crystal out of your ear in the middle of your back. Yes, I've got that too. In fact, I've got one sitting right in front of me that I pulled off my back today. I've been photographing it, but I didn't have time to photograph this one yet. That's funny. The only person you interact with is your dog. Well, I interact with a lot of animals here. I talk to them all. I don't know what an LLM is. I don't know what that is. Your boss's wife saw the photos before they changed or disappeared, then saw an altered and black grayed out ones became later. She believes every word I say about this. I trust her safely. The cops used to sit down on Columbia when I lived in Portland, Oregon, and they hit my house with energy weapons 4 blocks away. Oh, large language model. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that. Remember, you're like a web person. I don't know what that means. So yes, Joe. Yes, the FBI actually allowed me to have one. And in Kentucky, everybody has one or 12. The sleeping, I believe they can cyber kidnap you, and the idea is to have your digital twin take over while you're out. Well, that's scary. So for 7 minutes, which is a Saturn cycle, Saturn is 7 increments of 7 years. let's see, you went on. I did not know there was such a thing as a targeted individual. I did not know. But with regard to the question, Joe, that you asked, there are a lot of targeted people that do, but there's a screening for it. So I believe that you cannot have a criminal record already. They have to do a background check. So, like, for instance, like you can buy one online, and then it needs, if you're going to ship it, it goes to a dealer, like somebody who has the authority to transfer it to you. But before they transfer it to you and you sign for it, it goes to the FBI. So I thought, oh, cool. The FBI says it's okay to give me a firearm. The majority of us are educated without criminal record. Exactly. You learned from Eleanor White. I thought the people were crazy because the stuff they described happened to me all my life. But you're targeted since birth. So, that's what happens. Like when you're living a certain life and lifestyle from birth, you don't know that there's anything wrong with it. It's like children growing up in an abusive home. That's all you know. You've never known the life of a normal, quote unquote, being in a normal family. So that is normal to you. Well, I think most of us, at some point have traffic. In New Jersey, I mean, the cops would just pull me over for no reason at all. I mentioned there was one time I'm at a traffic light in Englishtown, which is this very small town right next to Manalapan. So this is by their town hall. So I'm at the traffic light. I go to turn, and a cop pulls me over. And he's this young cop. And like he's really cute. He's got this smile on his face. Not a smirky smile, but a smile. Just like a little smile. And he says, you know, how they always say, well, do you know why I pulled you over? And it's like, no, why did you pull me over? And he says, because now I don't remember if it was a registration or insurance, something was about to expire. It was going to expire in like 3 days, or like because it was a weekend, so it was going to expire by Monday. And he says, do you want to know how I knew that? Like it was a game he was playing with me. Sure, tell me how you knew that, my registration or whatever was going to expire. He said, well, do you see that sign over there? And there's this big like sign in front of the town hall there. And they usually display like the town hall events or reminder, spay and neuter your cat this week, whatever it is. And he said, there is a camera in there. They had the license plate scanners in that display back then. Now I'm living here 7 years. So it's got to be 9 or 10 years ago. They had license plate scanners in New Jersey. So it's not anything new. Like everybody's like, oh, we've got these license plate scanners. No, they've had them forever. Let's see, you were born and raised in New Jersey, South Jersey. From your own experience, the cops are straight up thugs that despise our constitutionally protected rights. Well, yeah, well, this was a younger cop. I mean, some of the cops, like in Manalapan and Englishtown, like they should not be cops. Like some of them actually look like they should be models. You know, like why did you want to become a cop? You know, and but he was like smiling. He said your I think it was my registration is about to expire. It was about to expire, and he knew it because they scanned my license plate while I was parked at the red light. So I thought that was interesting, and that was a long time ago already. Let's see. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying, JJ. I just won't repeat that. Good night, Elsie. Let's see, you have Max Spears playlist. Does anyone know what X means? You mean X like Twitter? The one thing Elon Musk uses X for like everything. And I remember reading something about what the meaning of X was, but I don't remember because it's not important to me, but I don't remember. The Shibble says statistically, 40% of all cops have committed domestic violence towards their spouse. Well, that is probably true. That's probably true. And it's midnight, everybody. So X marks the spot. Yes. Freemasons are watching. You will not get away with what you're doing. Oh, oh, Freemasons are watching. Oh, how do you know that? BRYC3R4, the perpetrator. Oh, I won't get away with what I'm doing? Oh, you mean like the criminals driving by the county road throwing grenades, but I'm in my house doing nothing? Oh, I'm not going to get away with doing anything because I'm not doing anything. Okay. So anyway, let's get this criminal out of the live stream. 1 second. Remove. Okay, everybody. So we got that little criminal out of the live stream, hopefully. Let's see. Let's get this one now, too. So we just hid that user from the channel. Fred says karma is coming to the Freemasons. Well, his girl, guess what? And then I'm going to end the live stream. His girl says, I donated to the Fraternal Order of Police. Now, I will tell you, as a fact, in New Jersey, I donated to them every year. They would call and do like this, fundraising over the phone. And you'd pledge something to them over the phone. They'd send you a little something in the mail, and they'd send you a sticker. So I was donating to them every year, and I had their sticker at the bottom of my glass door when I lived at 52 Sutton Drive, Manalapan, New Jersey. Even my neighbor said, well, what is that at the bottom of your door? I said, well, I donate to the police. And they give me a sticker. I don't know, I had like 8 of them at the bottom of the door. And then there was even one year that I called the chief of police. I said, you know what? How about for Christmas, any of your cops that are working for Christmas and Christmas Eve and stuff, I will pay for them to go to, I don't think it was like the local Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts or whatever. And only a few people used it. But I did that. And then there was one of the only nice, well, I'm not going to say one of the only nice ones, but one of the nicer cops in Manalapan was the dog handler, and he actually helped me. He ended up staying there for like an hour and a half. I had no idea he even had a dog in the back of his vehicle because somebody had dumped cats at my cat colony, and they were not feral cats, they were house cats. So I could not have house cats in a feral cat colony. So he helped me maneuver the cats out, but he had his dog in the back of the car, and he says, he's excused himself. He says, I've just got to go check on my dog. I said, what dog? He said, I've got a dog. I said, can I see it? So he opens the back of his vehicle, and the dog is just sitting there doing nothing, cool as a cucumber. And it's like I was shocked. It was a German Shepherd, and I ended up buying his dog a doggy basket, like with all kinds of cool stuff in it. So this Bryce K3ARNS is another criminal perpetrator. So we just hid this person from my channel. But you know, all these criminals, they've got multiple emails. Yeah, perps in the chat. We just got rid of them. And it's because it's just past midnight. And by the way, I don't negotiate with bullies, especially male bullies threatening a senior citizen female. I mean, what a pathetic loser you must be to come into a chat and harass the people here. You are pathetic. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm going to be signing off now too. Good night, thank you all for chiming in here. And somebody just said, "Oh, Plainsboro, New Jersey cops were good." Plainsboro is actually a nice part of New Jersey. Thank you so much, Joe, for moderating. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for checking up on me before. So everybody have a great night, and I'm going to end the live stream. Yeah, perps, get a real job. Get a real job, perps. Good night, everybody. Have a good night. Good night, Shribbles, Mats and Miles. Very soon, Lorna, SDL. Yes, stay strong. Helen. Yes, stalking jobs are for losers and cowards. Yes, Annie. Hi, Annie. Van life. Have a great night, everybody. Buck, everybody. Have a good night.